The external world versus the internal world. The internal world you can control. The external world you can. Anything that's outside of you, you can't control. Good reminder for some of us on this Monday morning. Brand new month, headed back into similar routines, but you got to understand the external world, you have no control over. You can influence it a bit, but you have no control over it. The only thing you have control over is yourself, the internal world, but that creates the results you're looking for in life. It's it's the mastery of your internal world. It's the mastery of your actions and your attitude that will allow you to create the life that you want. You hear me say it all the time. We're in this journey to create a life we don't need a break from. You're in this journey to create and design your ideal life, not just take the life that's been handed to you, not just take the cards, right, that you've been dealt with and just kind of leave them where they are. We are going to play the best hand that we possibly can by going off to strive to design our ideal life. How do we do that? It's 100% the internal world. Your actions, your attitude, your thoughts, and your behaviors. It's not anything outside of you. I know you think it's your job. I know you think it's your family. I know you think it's your environment or your boss or your neighbor or your whoever, right? We point the finger at as to all the things, your car, the things, your car, your house, like whatever the reasons are that we give ourselves as to why we're not where we want to be or our life isn't where it needs to be. Those things don't actually matter. The internal things are what matter. The first thing Tony Robbins started off with, he said, "What was your old story? What's the old story that we tell ourselves in our brain of who we are, of what we're supposed to do?" Sometimes I've said this before, sometimes we're attached to a job title as if that's who we are. And because we attach ourselves to that job title, then we operate in a certain way. We think about our lives in a certain way. But what's your new story? What's the new person you're creating? That old person has to die. That old version of yourself has to go away in order for a new version of yourself to appear. And so, what's the new story you're telling yourself? What emotions do you want that new person to feel? Is it more joy? Is it more fulfillment? Is it more happiness? Is it more peace? Like, what are you trying to experience in this new version of yourself? Are you clear on that? Do you have those things written down? Do you understand what you're headed towards? The man or woman God called you to be? Are you in touch with that person? These are the things we should be pondering on, regardless of what's happening in the world, in social media, in your family life, and all the other things that come to distract us. These are the important questions if you want to change your life. The old story, the old version of you has to die for the new version of you to be able to live. What emotions do you need to experience to change your story? Can you prime yourself in that way? Can you give yourself those things that are allowing you to become the man or woman God called you to be, to have the capacity to handle this life that you're asking for? We got to pay attention to that. Talked about three things: pattern recognition, pattern utilization, and pattern creation. This is in all different areas. Apply this to your emotional self. Apply this to your emotional intelligence. Apply this to your emotional intelligence. Do you recognize your patterns of when you get angry or when you get anxious or when you get depressed or when you feel like eating or when you feel like shopping or when you feel like drinking? Like, are you aware of your own patterns, of your own, like, how did you get here? Some of y'all know I've been on this journey of personal growth, personal development for a decade now. Before, because we all experience similar things in life. Before, when I would experience a depressive state or an anxious state, it would take me forever to come out of it. It would take me months, right? You don't even know. You're in the same kind of, process, this thought process, this feeling for a long time. As I grew personally, as I focused on my personal development, it's not that I did not get into depressive states. It's I could check my pattern and figure out how did I get here, then learn how to get out of it quicker. So where 8, 9 years ago, I might be in that state for 2, 3 months. Now I might be in that state for 2 or 3 days. Not because I no longer experience the things in the world. It's a matter of I learned how to control my own self. I recognize my patterns. I understand how I got to a certain place, and then I know how to get myself out of it. Pattern recognition. Do you recognize your emotional homes? Do you recognize your patterns? Right? He said in there, if you do recognize, you start to get to this, pattern recognition, it removes fear. So think of some areas that you're fearful in your life. It's probably because you're not recognizing the pattern. It's new. It's something you don't know. Fear of the unknown. You're not used to that side. But imagine if you leaned into that, if you leaned into that fear to recognize that pattern over time, the fear goes away because you're like, oh, I've seen this before. Oh, I know what this is. You can do that internal world. Oh yeah, I'm not gonna get too hung up on just this depressive state. I know what this is. I know where the enemy's trying to attack me. I know what I was listening to over the past week. I knew what I was eating. Like I know how I got here. I'm recognizing the pattern. You got to be able to do that if you want to design your ideal life. Pattern utilization is then how do you use that in order to get you to where you want to go, and then eventually create a brand new pattern. Say, I'm not going to allow this to happen. I'm going to create a brand new cycle. These are tools, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to be able to go off and design your ideal life. You want a life you don't need a break from. You want to have life exactly where you want it, in your health, in your finances, in your relationships, in all the areas. You have to practice these things. You have to practice this stuff. You have to become aware. You got to remember the reason why most people don't get here is because their life is distracting them. Everything they do is a distraction. It doesn't allow you time to think about these things that are the most important things for you getting out of the situation that you're in. It's you just focusing on this stuff. That pattern utilization, pattern creation side. When I wrote this down, when something ends, something new begins. Always remember that. When something ends, something new begins. Here's what it says in our text: 177 Mental Toughness Secrets of the World Class by Steve Siebold. This says champions are zealots for change. Zealots for change. What Tony Robbins was talking about in there had a lot to do with change, about things changing. He even touched on, right, jobs, the workforce. Some of you still have jobs. Some of you, right, aren't fully in the entrepreneur space. You got to know that like your ability to work and create income is going to change. Like you need to retool. You need to get new skill sets. I talk about this on another show that I do on Fridays, but I talk about how we need to learn new skills if we want to continue to make new money. Need to learn new skills. Well, that's from a financial standpoint. If you want to grow in finance or in business or those things, you're going to have to get new skills. The skills you had 10 years ago aren't going to work in the next 5 years, and you're going to get left behind financially. We watch it happen over and over again. So you have to be willing to change. But that's just from a financial place. What about from an EQ side, an emotional intelligence side? Where do you need to change there? We talked about retooling. We talked about identifying patterns. So in your emotional home, in your attitude, what are some things that you were holding on to that you need to change? Think about it. Here's what it says in the text. It says average performers hold on to skills, competencies, and mindsets that have gotten them to the position they hold today. Champions know business and technology are changing so rapidly that constant innovation is the only way to thrive and survive. While average performers are addicted to the methods and strategies of the past, pros know that by the time most products hit the shelves, they're nearly obsolete. The world they were trained to succeed in during school no longer exists, and the rules keep changing. Amateurs struggle to keep things the same, while pros embrace change at all levels and learn to thrive on it. Middle class performers see change as a threat. World class performers see it as the most exciting time in human history. The great ones know constant innovation is the order of the day. They always look for a better way. As a result, greater innovation collectively leads to more rapid change. Professional performers see all of this as a game in which the individual who can be the most open, flexible, and innovative wins. Average people yearn for the good old days. The great ones know these are the good old days. Understanding how open are you for change? How open and flexible and innovative are you for change? This could talk about business and your skill sets in business. Absolutely. Your ability to go off and make money. The old skill sets you had 20 years ago, 15 years ago, and you want to make new money, well, you probably got to get some new skill sets. We can talk about those things. But it says up here, average performers hold on to skills, competencies, and mindsets. So what mindsets are you holding on to? Talk about old story to new story. What mindsets are you holding on to that have gotten you here today? And again, not necessarily a bad thing. You may have mindsets that have gotten you to this point. They have kept you safe. They have protected you. You've created systems around your money or around your relationships that have gotten you to this point that you are today, and you've survived all those things. Kudos to you. Now, we want to get to another level in life. We don't want to keep experiencing what got us to this point. We're grateful that we're here, and we know there's more that we need to do. So what does that mean? That means there's probably some skills, competencies, and mindsets that we have to change in order to get to that next level. There's a great book. I forget who the author is, but it's the title is exactly what we're talking about. It says, "What got you here won't get you there. What got you here won't get you there." So you know how to get here. You know the mindsets, the skill sets, the competencies, all the things. You know what has gotten you to this point. And now you're saying, but I want greater, a greater, deeper faith life. I want more out of my health life. I want more in my financial life. I want to experience more joy, more peace. Then we got to stop doing the things that got us to this point. Not all of them, but some of them. That's the only way we get to the next level. It's your constant change. So take inventory for yourself, ladies and gentlemen. Do you want things to be the same? Are you one of the people that talk about the good old days, about way back when things were great? Or are we looking forward to the future? Are we adapting new things? Are we coming up with the new ideas, the new skill sets, the new mindsets that we're going to need in order to go design our ideal life? I encourage that. I encourage you to do that. I encourage you to take some time today to recognize some of your mental patterns. If every Monday at 3 p.m. you feel the same way, like you need a coffee, right? Think about how you get there after a while. Don't just take it as is, as, oh, this is my normal. No, how did you get here? What are you thinking about? Where's your energy? What are you doing in your health that's causing you to get this crash at 3 p.m.? These are small little areas of our life that if we just pay attention to, if we stop paying attention to other people or what's going on outside of us, or right, the people that are our coworkers, our family, if we stop giving that so much energy and turn that energy inward to like, what do I need to do? What are my patterns? What am I trying to recognize? What changes do I need to make? What mindsets have I been holding on to? What did I do in May that I can't do anymore? I need to do in June. If we just focus on this stuff, y'all, where your focus goes, energy flows. You want energy in these areas to upgrade your skill sets, to upgrade your mindsets, to ultimately build the capacity to handle the life that's up ahead. You got to start being intentional about your growth. You got to start being intentional about the things that we're talking about. You have to be open and flexible to change all the things, specifically internally, your mindsets. If you change your thinking, you change your life. If you change how you think about things, I know this is the thesis. The reason why I keep telling you this is because one day you're going to get it. You're going to see like, oh man, I've just been thinking about this the wrong way. Now, if I think about it differently, I'll do something different. Man, I've been letting fear run my financial life for a while. I haven't trusted myself with money for a while. Back in the day, I remember going into major debt, and that was painful. Man, I remember having to file bankruptcy. That was painful. I remember them repoing the car. That was painful. So now I'm going to think about money a little bit differently. And now you've been out of bankruptcy. You haven't had a repo. You've been paying your bills, but you still think about money the same way. So now you want to go build wealth. You want to get to the next level, but you're actually operating out of a mindset that said, well, I can't be broke again. I can't file bankruptcy again. That's why you are where you are financially. It's just how you're thinking about it. You make more money now than you made before. So why are your finances not different? It's because you think about it the same way. We have more access to better foods and programs to move our body than ever before. So why are we more unhealthy? It's possibly because we still think about our health in the exact same way. Ladies and gentlemen, my encouragement to you on this Monday, the first Monday of June, is to really dive in and start to think, what areas do I need to change in my mindsets and my skill sets? Where do I need a shift in my thinking to get a new story, to get some new outcomes? And the more you focus on those things, the internal world, the more you focus on the things you can control, your actions and your attitudes, nothing else, the more you can think about those things, the more it'll influence your external world and you'll watch your life change. The action step for today in the book says, identify another old belief, strategy, or idea from the past that is no longer working in the present and make a commitment to update it or dismiss it. In the age of the mind, knowing when to make room for new ways of getting results is critical to your success. I love you guys. I want you to win. You deserve to win. You deserve to win. Remember that. Instill that in your mind. If you ever doubt that or question that, or you don't know if you're on the right path, or you don't know, like you deserve to win. You've put in the work. You deserve to win. Now we just have to continue to shift some things to get to the life that we deserve. That's all. You've come this far. You've done great work. Now, what got you here won't get you there. I'm here to just help you tweak those little areas. Life is not a game of feet. It's a game of millimeters. It's a game of inches. Just a little shift in your thought changes your trajectory. And you can go off and design your ideal life, build the capacity to handle the life that God has for you. Go out there, do something that pushes you out of your comfort zone today. I'll see you back here on Wednesday. Take care. Love you guys.